Hey guys, Super Godzilla Final Wars here, and today I'm going to be making a video about how I became a Teen Wolf fan. And I know I don't really do these videos a whole lot, honestly. Maybe I should do more Teen Wolf videos from now on. Oh god. Now I kind of regret not oh damn. Maybe one of these days when I announce a new intro and outro, I'll probably have a Space Final Wars to put Teen Wolf in there and Underworld. If I announce a new intro and outro. If. For now, I have no intentions of having a new intro or outro because a lot of people change their intros and outros now these days. Besides just keeping the same old intro and outro. Anyways, back onto Teen Wolf. Teen Wolf is a series that I personally enjoy. And honestly, it brings me back to good moments in my childhood. There weren't a whole lot of good moments in my childhood, at least not that I can recall. I really don't remember a whole lot in my childhood, but at least not a whole lot of good moments. I remember some, not a whole lot. But Teen Wolf is definitely one of those moments, or definitely one of those series or moments that kind of brings me back to my childhood. When I first started watching Teen Wolf, at first I was not a fan of it when I was younger, but over time the series grew on me. And almost immediately, Scott was not my favorite character at first. At first, Allison was my favorite character. Mainly because she started out as this innocent girl who doesn't know what's going on. And later on in the series, she finds out that she's dating a werewolf. And within a way, their love was somewhat forbidden. Well, at least not completely forbidden. The series just mostly focuses around Scott trying to figure out how to accept this new life that he's now forced to live because he wandered in the forests and got bit by a werewolf. He was mainly wandering around in the forest with his friend Styles to find a dead body. But Styles got taken away from his dad, taken away by his dad to go back home, while Scott was in the middle of the woods, all alone, and then he meets a werewolf and gets bitten by one, and gets werewolf abilities, like super senses, like hearing, sense of smell, and most importantly, being able to somewhat communicate to animals. There was this one scene where Scott was comforting a panicking Allison, and the dog that she accidentally ran over that broke its leg. I believe it broke its leg. It was aggressive, but Scott calmed it down with his werewolf abilities. And the more I watch Teen Wolf, the more serious the show gets. And I believe that was something that was missing from Twilight, honestly, now that I look back at it. I think Twilight was missing the very important seriousness of the story, of the characters and their personal struggles that they had to go through. I know a whole lot of people may not agree with me about this, but I honestly do believe that this is a very interesting series and a very interesting werewolf story. And as the show progresses over time, the more you start to really love the series. That's what I felt like when I was watching Season 1 of Teen Wolf. Yeah, hold on. Sorry about that. But like I was saying, I really liked Season 1 of Teen Wolf and how serious it gets sometimes. That's just what I liked about Teen Wolf. That's just what I freaking liked about Teen Wolf. Season 2 was somewhat of a different part of the story. Like, it still followed the same characters, but the story in Season 2 was slightly different. Now they were dealing with a whole new threat. A threat that they never faced before. A threat that they don't know how to handle. But in the end, they managed to come together and beat the threat. Although, in the end, there were some unexpected things that happened. Like Scott and Allison breaking up in Season 2 and Allison losing her mother. Things were going crazy in Season 2. And to think if it can't get any more intense, Season 3, remember, I don't remember, well, I only remember watching half of Season 3. I don't remember, well, yeah, I didn't really saw the rest of Season 3. The other seasons, I haven't even gotten started to watch. Maybe I should start watching them, hopefully later after I'm done watching Underworld. But for what I know, for what I know about Season 3, Season 3 continues where Season 2 left off. With our characters thought living their lives peacefully, but eventually things go down for real, and oh boy, does this show not hold back. And again, when Allison dies in Season 3, it was when I kind of stopped watching Teen Wolf. And there were some moments in Season 3 where Scott and Allison were somewhat trying to get back together, but just kind of remained separate from each other. They were just kind of away from each other, having new relationships, trying to see if that can work out or not. But in the end, they got to deal with a more greater threat than the two previous threats that they had to deal with before. And again, Allison dies. And I did finish watching Season 3, I think like a month or two ago. I'm sorry I didn't mention that in my previous video, but I did watch the other half of Season 3, and man, does it have the most depressing ending I've ever seen. For the other two endings, one was happy, the other one was slightly happy. This one was just depressed. But yeah, Teen Wolf has a really great story and great characters, and I just love Teen Wolf. Teen Wolf is by far my personal favorite werewolf series. I would say Underworld's my favorite vampire series, but that's more like a movie series. Plus, it's more about werewolves and well, not really werewolves, but lycans and vampires going into war with each other. And the prequel, Rise of the Lycans, that was somewhat of a movie about werewolves and lycans and vampires fighting each other. And honestly, there were a lot more funny moments in Teen Wolf, more than Twilight, honestly. I believe Underworld had a few funny moments. I can't really remember. Space Fireworks, let me know if it had a few funny moments. But Teen Wolf had more than just one funny moment. It had like a bunch. And holy crap, Derek was not only my favorite character, he was like my favorite funny character. Because every time you saw Derek on screen, he rather did something that was funny or freaking said something that was funny. And if you guys don't believe me, look up Teen Wolf funny moments, and you'll see Derek being literally stealing half of the show, being funny as hell, and it's just hilarious. I love Derek. Derek is the best character in the Teen Wolf series, besides Allison and Scott. And I believe, what was her name? I can't remember her name, but there were other characters that I liked too, and I forgot to mention them. Hopefully, when I'm doing my full review of the Teen Wolf series, going by season, hopefully I will remember which character it was who also became my favorite character, and who was my somewhat okay characters, who I thought were okay, and the ones who were my least favorite characters. But yeah, Teen Wolf was awesome. It was funny. It was cool. It was full of action, and it was just by far my favorite series when it comes to werewolves. Sure, they may not look like werewolves when they somewhat transform. Other times they do look like werewolves. Sometimes they look like normal-sized wolves. But that's okay. You can kind of go in all directions when it comes to werewolf series. If you're a fan of werewolves, that is. But yeah. So, that, ladies and gentlemen, is why I became a fan of Teen Wolf. And I watched the movie, and some people are saying that it's garbage, other people are saying it could have been better. Me, personally, I think it was okay. I think it did a good job. Anyways, hope you guys liked this video. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye-bye.